Yes, my name is Davide. Two questions, one for Dina, one for Naveen. For Dina, is Blip using a content delivery network such as Akamai, or in terms of computer hardware? And the question for Naveen, I think you would be happy to develop the company and develop agreements with a number of players, but would you be, if you had to choose, would you prefer developing agreements with mobile network providers or terminal providers, or who is your most important partner now?
Do you want to go first?
Okay. So we don't use another platform to serve our videos. There are 5 founders of Blip, and all 4 of my co-founders are programmers. They actually started writing the code that powers Blip back in 1999, 6 years before your podcast started, which is great because they were able to build a powerful platform. For a CDN, a pure content delivery network, we use 5 of them. We use Akamai the most, and we also use Limelight. And we take pleasure in sending them larger and larger checks each month. I smile. We don't necessarily take pleasure, but it's a good sign for the growth of the business.
To answer your question, is this on? I think you were asking who's the most important partner, whether it's mobile networks or, what was the second one, terminal carriers? I don't know what that is. I'm not sure. Are you talking about brands or talking about...
I think that at the beginning you were pointing out that you were born thinking about mobile handsets as something that you can carry on with you.
Everything is essentially mobile,
So
yeah.
I understand, but I would assume that you would be happy to develop agreements with anybody.
Yep.
But the question was really, who is your most important focus of development now?
Okay. So we started primarily on mobile. When we launched, we had an iPhone application, we were mobile web, and we had SMS. So I guess it's a combination. It's a combination of the carrier, but more importantly, the platform that we develop for. So we're on all the major platforms now, all the major smartphone platforms, iPhone, Android, as well as BlackBerry. So good relationships with the platform level stuff is probably very important, and it is very important, and it's proved to be very important. And that we keep a good, strong dialogue going, because we're obviously using their platform to the fullest potential. We want to do good things, and so to answer your question, I think it's somewhere in the middle.
You will be scared by a Facebook phone?
Will we be scared by a Facebook phone? I think it's just a rumor now. I don't know much about it. It just came out yesterday or over the weekend. So we'll see. I think it's just a platform like any other, or probably will be a platform like any other.
Thanks a lot.
Learn how to PR, how to answer the questions like that. Se c'è una persona che deve fare una domanda a Luca Telesi, la faccia adesso, perché sennò lui se ne va, se no gliela faccio io. C'è una persona, perché non so se hai sentito la risposta, qualcuno diceva ma Luca Telesi ha ragione, però questa questione di sapere dove sei, di comunicare, perdi la privacy, non sei più libero di qua. La risposta è stata non metterlo su internet, non sei obbligato a condividerlo.
Allora qui però c'è una cosa da dire telegraficamente, è che è una risposta geniale, però siamo tutti forzati a mettere su internet perché c'è il fattore ludico, non è un fattore razionale. Internet aggiunge a tutte le altre forme di consumo la forma più sublimata di sentimento ludico. Noi vogliamo metterlo per divertirci, un minuto dopo ci pentiamo. Volevo dire telegraficamente prima di andarmene che il commento più bello su Twitter è: questo Salvadurai non ha capito nulla di Foursquare, che mi sembra, come dire, che dà l'idea di come sono folli i commenti a volte ci sono in rete. E la seconda cosa che volevo dire, me la sono dimenticata, è una cosa che riguardava, che cosa volevo dire? Che riguardava questo senso del dell'autodelazione, vorrei dire una mezza parola in più, è veramente molto sul filo, no? Cioè ha ragione a dire non ve lo chiedo io, però intanto il social network ha il potere di condizionamento di una società, cioè produce una comunità e una comunità ti condiziona a farlo. Allora tu dici ma io non voglio subire questo condizionamento, però è la tua comunità e quindi tu sei portato a entrare in un social network, parafrasando Groucho Marx, di cui non vorresti far parte. Grazie mille.
Volevo solo fare...
There was a tweet about you, and the tweet he was reading said he didn't understand Foursquare. Anyway, other questions?
Sì. Io volevo solo fare una chiosa su quello che diceva Telese, che francamente non sono per niente d'accordo su una cosa che dice se è pieno di gente che condivide le informazioni e poi se ne pente un minuto dopo. Io porto la mia testimonianza, sono 5 anni che condivido 5 volte al giorno posizioni e cose su internet e mi sono ancora pentito una volta e credo che siamo in tanti. Mi sembra una posizione troppo facile e francamente infondata. Trovo molto più sensato e ragionevole che ognuno sceglie liberamente se condividere le informazioni o no su internet, e non capisco dov'è il problema della privacy, francamente. Non capisco cosa c'entra con la privacy questa libera scelta che fanno le persone.
Bene, no, per essere onesti con Luca Telese, lui diceva devi essere consapevole, lo traduco nei miei termini, devi essere consapevole di quello che fai per fare quello che fa Marco Massarotto, e infatti questo genere di discorsi non sono inutili proprio perché consentono a una società di digerire queste continue innovazioni per diventare consapevole di quello che conviene fare e di quello che non conviene fare. Altre... Dov'è? Prego.
Okay, I had a question for Nadine. Before you told us a story. The story is there's a million of people out there, but I think the problem is how do they know that we are in? I mean, with our startup, the point is there. So I just want to know, how did you get people on your platform? Because the point is there. Or you have millions of dollars to spend on advertising, or what is the point? The point is the content. The point is the service. What is the point? Thanks.
Yeah, I guess, because everybody would like to start a company and have millions of users. That's the way, the way you make, I mean.
Right. Okay. So when we started in 2005, and as I was just stating, there was 6 years of coding behind that. We got 2 users. That was very humbling. We thought we were going to be overnight millionaires. So I think Naveen would agree as well that it does not happen easily for anyone. It does not happen easily for Blip. It didn't happen easily in the early days for Foursquare or any other company. You know, part of it is the same advice that we give to our shows. There are people creating web shows, and they're in a very thick forest of other people creating shows and traditional media. And we say half your effort should be on making the show. For us, that means about half our effort is on making the product, and half of the effort needs to be, for lack of a better way to phrase it, working it. Gaining an audience and engaging with that audience. So for us, after getting 2 users when we launched and no more, for weeks and weeks on end, we identified thought leaders in our world. Every business caters or should cater when it begins to a somewhat niche or core market. Figure out who those influencers are and reach out to them, hang out with them. We emailed them out of the blue and said, do you want to have a beer? We'll fly, we're in San Francisco, we'll lie, you know, or we're in Los Angeles, let's have a beer. And we didn't pay, because we didn't want to be thought of as the company, but we just hung out and said, what do you need? What can we build for you? And they told us, and we built it. Tell us one day build this, the next day we built it. And then they said something else, and then something else. And so you have for your business a base. I think one of the reasons Blip has survived when many other video companies have gone out of business is that we had a base. It was video bloggers in 2005, people just doing shows about their commute to work or something silly. But that was our base. And we've grown from there, but we've kept that base. And they're loyal to us and we're loyal to them. And we have, since that two-user experience, still continue to hang out, barbecue with, have beers with, etc. Our users, continue to ask them what to build, and then built it. So I think the core is being very humble and doing a lot of listening, and also being really, really active on Twitter and Facebook. So if people email to you, it might be one person when you start, but you email right back or message them back on Facebook or follow them on Twitter. And then you have one user. And then what happens is if you're good to them, they spread the word about your company. That's what happened for us. We still haven't spent $1 on marketing, but you're good to your base and they do the recommendation. And from 2, we now have over 6,000 shows. So that's how we worked for it.
Do you want to hear our side? Yeah, similar things. As I mentioned, we've been working on these ideas for a long time. We've been thinking about them for a long time. I fooled around this space for about 3 or 4 years before we even started Foursquare. And we launched it at this big conference called South by Southwest, which is in actually Texas in the United States. And kept it quiet before then. Only our friends saw it, and we launched it there. And we got a reasonable amount of users that signed up. But it took a whole maybe 6 months after that before even more people signed up. It was very slow, very low growth for a while, and then we just kept building. And as Dina said, we put a lot of emphasis on customer service. So for the first year or so that we were around, roughly, it was just me and Dennis. So it was just 2 of us working everything. We just did everything in the company. And every message that came in, whether anyone tweeted at us or they emailed us or did anything, we would personally respond to them. No matter what it was, we just did that. Until it got out of control, until we had like 20,000 messages in the queue. We just couldn't answer them. And we still kind of do that to some degree. We just have that dialogue, that relationship. We listen to all of our users and build for them. And when things break, we tell them why they break, and that we're active and we're active, we're working, we're staying up late, we're trying to fix it, we're trying to do a better job for them. I think that goes a long way.
Non so quanto tempo abbiamo ancora, ma penso che non sia lunghissimo. Ancora 3 domande, prego.
Importante questa informazione. Questo è un dato che riguarda Foursquare ovviamente. C'è scritto quanti check-in sono stati fatti qui all'opificio oggi e quante persone ci sono adesso. Lo lascio leggere a te.
Benissimo, quindi... No, leggilo tu.
Il dato dice che ci sono stati 103 check-in, tant'è che io ho ricevuto anche il super badge.
There were 103 check-in from here.
Il dato dice che ci sono stati 103 check-in e infatti ho ricevuto il super badge per oltre 50 e che in questo momento, secondo Foursquare, 58 persone sono presenti. Era un dato che volevamo condividere.
Benissimo.